You are starting to feel like a ghost in your own life. You look at your phone and it's silent. You look at your social circle and it's shrinking. You look at the person you used to be, the one who was always out, always laughing, always on. And that person feels like a stranger. You feel invisible. You feel forgotten. And if you are honest, there's a part of you that's terrified that this is just how it's going to be from now on, that the world has moved on without you. But I want you to listen closely. That silence is not a sign of your ending, it's the beginning of your power. You're not being left behind, you are being prepared. You have entered the ghost phase. And the ghost phase is where the greatest versions of ourselves are actually built. Think about your life a few months or even a year ago. You were probably busy. You were surrounded by noise, by opinions, and by people who expected you to be a certain way. You were performing. We all do it. We perform for our friends, our families, our followers. But eventually, the performance becomes exhausting. The mask starts to crack. Suddenly, you find yourself wanting to retreat. You stop replying to the group chats. You stay in on a Friday night, not because you are tired, but because the idea of making small talk feels like a heavy weight on your chest. You might feel a strange sense of guilt about it. You might think you are becoming boring or that you're losing your edge. Let's pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Have you noticed that lately? That sudden, overwhelming urge to just disappear. That urge is not a mistake. It's your intuition telling you that you can no longer grow in the environment that made you. You have reached the limit of who you were. To become who you need to be, you have to go where the noise can't follow you. You have to go into the dark. In nature, nothing grows under a spotlight. Seeds don't sprout on the surface of the soil where the sun can bake them. They sprout in the damp, heavy, crushing darkness of the earth. In that darkness, the seed has to literally break apart. Everything it thought it was has to crack open so the life inside can reach out. If that seed could think, it would probably feel like it was dying. It would feel alone. It would feel like a ghost. But that death is the only way it becomes a tree. Your ghost phase is your period of incubation. It's the time when your energy is no longer being leaked out into the world through social validation, unnecessary drama, or trying to please people who don't even truly see you. For the first time, your energy is staying within you. It's being directed inward. This is why you feel so heavy. You're sitting with yourself. And sitting with yourself is the hardest work you'll ever do. When the distractions are gone, the truth comes out. You start to see the habits that have been holding you back. You start to feel the emotions you've been running from for years. You start to realize that many of the people you thought were your friends were actually just your audience. It's painful, it's lonely, but it is also the most honest you have ever been. Think about the great ones, the athletes who disappear for an entire off season and come back with a completely different level of skill. The writers who go into seclusion for years to finish the masterpiece. The people in your own life who went through a dark patch and emerged with a sense of peace and confidence that you couldn't quite explain. They didn't just get lucky, they did the work in the ghost phase. They allowed themselves to be forgotten so they could remember who they were. There's a subtle realization that happens when you've been in the dark long enough. You start to realize that the people who forgot you were never really there for you to begin with. They were there for the version of you that served them. And as you stop serving that old version of yourself, they naturally drift away. This is not a tragedy, it's a filtration system. The ghost phase clears the room so that when you finally step back into the light, the only people standing there are the ones who can handle the person you have become. But here's the twist that makes most people miss. We think the ghost phase is about the destination. We think it's just a bridge we have to cross to get to the success part. It is not. The ghost phase is the destination. The growth doesn't happen when you get the promotion or the relationship or the recognition. The growth is happening right now in the silence of your room when you choose to keep going even though no one is clapping for you. The growth is the moment you decide that your own approval is finally enough. You are becoming unstoppable, not because you have reached the top, but because you have survived the bottom. You have learned that you can exist without the noise. You have learned that you are still whole even when you are invisible. Pause again. Reflect on this. If you never got the credit for how much you have changed, would it still be worth it? If your answer is yes, then you are almost through. The world loves the overnight success. We love the reveal. We love the before and after, but the after is boring. The after is just the result. The magic is in the middle. The magic is in the months of being a ghost. It's in the tears that no one saw. It's in the books that you read alone. It's in the internal boundaries you set that no one else knows about. So, if you are in the ghost phase right now, I want to tell you this. Stay there as long as you need. Do not rush back into the light just because you're afraid of being lonely. Do not lower your standards just to get your phone to ring again. Do not apologize for your absence. You are not missing onto your life. You are building a life that you don't need to escape from. The people who are meant to be in your future will wait for you. The opportunities that are meant for you cannot be taken by anyone else while you are away. You are in a sacred space. You are in the workshop of the soul. When you finally decide to come back, and you will, you won't be the same person who left. You will move differently. You'll speak differently. You'll have a depth in your eyes that only comes from having walked through the dark and found your own way out. You'll realize that being a ghost wasn't about being dead to the world. It was about finally being alive to yourself. The dark isn't where you go to disappear, it's where you go to be found. Be patient with the process. The sun doesn't ask for permission to rise, and neither will you. You are just waiting for the right moment to break that horizon. Until then, keep growing in the dark. I can see the progress you're making, even if no one else can. And soon enough, they won't be able to look away. If this resonated with you, it's likely because you are in the middle of this transformation right now. I'd love to hear one small way you have been investing in yourself during this quiet season, only if you are ready to share. Would you like me to explore how to navigate the specific loneliness that comes with